If you look at the lines of our original house, built 140 years ago, you may see a home you recognize. That's because thousands of American towns have Cape Cod style homes, and we decided to find out why. John Clemson is a New England-based architectural historian.
What is now called the Cape Cod cottage originated probably in the beginning of settlement of Europeans in North America. It's just a quintessential house form. It's basically a wooden one-story box with a steeply pitched gable roof that's steep enough to enclose living space on the second level usually. If you go to the countryside in Europe, you'll see these small gabled cottages everywhere. When they got to North America, they started using wood instead of masonry because they had abundant wood. The concept of the Cape Cod house really was a 19th century concoction by romantic travel writers such as Timothy Dwight and Henry David Thoreau, who traveled to the Cape where there are abundant examples of this house type, often small scale, and they ended up naming the style after the region.
The defining features of a cape are a central chimney, steep roofs with gable ends, symmetrical gable dormers, and simple ornamentation. Some original capes can still be found in older towns in New England, but these early capes are not the end of the story.
With the Colonial Revival movement that emerged in the late 19th century and rising expectations in the 1920s and an emerging middle class, there was a need for modestly sized houses. And the Cape Cod cottage and Colonial Revival was sort of an economical and affordable way to build for many people who wanted a simpler, traditional, less elaborate house.
Perhaps the biggest devotee of the Cape was Winchester, Massachusetts architect Royal Barry Wills. He designed 2,500 homes, wrote 8 books, even had a radio show.
The exteriors of many of his houses are very careful reproductions of early buildings. However, the interiors are almost always much more expansive, larger rooms, front to back living rooms, and like other revivalists, he added wings and attached garages to expand the core box building and provide more living space.
The final shot in the arm for capes came after World War II GIs came home. They needed houses, and developers were ready with the cape.
The houses were inexpensive, comfortable, and could be built very economically and quickly. It was a very efficient way to create a lot of housing right away that people desired.
So when it comes to our project, this idea that we are going to take an 1880s cape and preserve the front, but then add a fairly modern addition to the back with lots of glass, different roof lines and such, do we have a chance of pulling it off, and is that the right thing to do?
My feeling about buildings and historic preservation is that buildings have to change. They have to adapt to new needs. And I think the concept of retaining the front of the building where everybody can enjoy it and share it and look at it, and altering the back of the building to meet the needs of the owners is a very good solution.
Thank you, John. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.